So. Let me just remove all of this stuff on here, move this up to the top. All right, cool. So, what's been going on this week, ladies and gentlemen? So, this week we had not that much news from a US dollar standpoint. We just had PCE, which we want to speak about. I didn't really pay too much attention to CAD stuff, Australian dollar. I don't really trade these things that much anymore. So yeah, but in regards to the dollar, we obviously had PCE come out, right? What happened with PCE? What happened with the good old PCE, right? Can you explain GDP when you talk about it, please? Yeah, 100, bro. So why did we have GDP this week? Oh, yes, of course we did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know why I thought. Okay, yeah, yeah, makes sense. So, right. So first things first, right? We obviously had PCE. Now, what happened with PCE? We saw that the year over year. If I just come on down to where is it? Not so much the report. Obviously, I did, dive into the report. However, where's the okay, I'm just typing in here. US PCE year over year, right? Obviously, we focus more on core. So the core PCE actually came out a little bit higher, 0.1% higher. Now, you guys all know that we don't, we don't just look at the number. We have to look at what's going on with the reports. So I took the liberty of making a little document. I didn't actually add GDP to this, but we will talk about it after we've spoken about PCE, right? So when it comes to PCE, obviously, yes, PCE year over year did actually come out higher. PCE month over month came out the same, but we don't really focus too much on, month over month. It's more core, and we obviously dive into what happened in regards to the report, right? So what I got from the report is that the main drivers for the 0.1% increase on the PCE year over year was obviously financial services and portfolio management fees. We also had healthcare as well, transport, persistent services inflation. So from what I gathered, I could be wrong here, so I can double check in a minute. But it wasn't so much that services actually increased like crazily above the board. A lot of it stayed elevated as it was in the last reading, but we did definitely get transport, healthcare, financial services come out, quite a bit higher. And on top of that, strong consumer spending and income, right? So obviously we already know that, the employment data is obviously employment in America has been pretty strong, right? It's been pretty robust as the Fed would state. So obviously with that means that obviously if people got more money, they're gonna spend more money. And obviously we know now that it's not just it wasn't just oil. If anything, it's not even oil hasn't really, you know, been the craziest driver now. It's more been things outside of oil. So when we see that not just oil, and energy, if you will, is going up, and it's more other things that are rising up as well, like we can start to gauge that the Fed may potentially keep these rates higher for longer, or maybe even hike the rates, which is obviously what James just said as well, which we're going to touch on in a minute. So what I've kind of gotten from this report is that it's a lot more leaning towards the hawkish side. So let me just double check that I've let everybody in. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have. Yeah, so it's looking a little bit more hawkish. Hawkish meaning obviously the Fed are favoring higher rates for longer, or obviously, the potential increase in rates, right? So, if it was just oil, then, the Fed could potentially look past it and look past it and say, yeah, it's what's the word that they used to use? Transitionary, if you will, right? But they're not really saying that anymore. And couple that up with the fact that we've had a new chairman come in and we obviously heard him speak, and he was even talking like he was a lot more hawkish, and he said that he's like one of his his main thing that he's really focused on now is inflation. And if inflation is not going the right way, if we just look at this chart as well for a minute, right? If we just scroll, is it scroll up or scroll down? Here we go. You guys can see since what, like, well, not even since April, because I think it was actually lower. Well, yeah, April, right? Is this year over year? Okay, cool. But what I was trying to show you was the fact that we're seeing the trend, starting to go the wrong way. We know that they want it at 2%, and we've just seen it go up from 3.3% to 3.4%. So it's not exactly going in the right direction, is it? So for me, I'm still going to take that as bullish on the dollar. And I'm not going to take it as bearish for indices right now, because obviously we know that, the interest, or interest, the earnings reports in these companies that are inside of these, US equities that we trade, they're obviously still strong from their last readings. And we have obviously got a lot of financial companies releasing their earnings like in the next 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So if we start to see those readings come out weaker, then yeah, I think that will be the catalyst to start giving us that bearish narrative on US indices, which you haven't really been seeing. Obviously, I trust me, I'm trying to sell indices as much as the next man, but I'm not going to battle what the market cycle is showing us, which we're going to speak about um in a bit as well, right? So that's the PCE side of things. Now, just going back to my document very quickly, just rounding up what I mentioned earlier, the above, what we just spoke about here, is obviously hawkish for the Fed, as it shows that inflation is not solely being caused by just oil. And I was meant to put energy as well. But obviously, this was initially the case due to the war, but obviously, we're seeing that it's not just oil now. And when services inflation stays elevated, it increases the probability of a tighter monetary policy, right? Which means Mr. Kevin Walsh is not. I mean, you guys saw the Fed dot plot that we spoke about. If we just quickly go over to it again very quickly for those of you that weren't on that call. Um, recent Fed dot plot. Uh, right, if we just go back to this for a minute, right? Cool. So this is the Fed dot plot. For those of you who haven't seen it before, it's a um depiction of what the Fed, what obviously you've got, what is it, 90 members of the Fed that obviously vote on what they think will happen moving into the future in regards to monetary policy. And if we look at what the rates are currently, it's 3.75%, right? So let's go over to federal funds rate. Federal funds rate. Obviously, we know that right now it's at currently sitting at 3.75%. So if we just look at the Fed dot plot for a minute, right? 3.75% will be just above, well, no, technically it will be this line here, right? So obviously, this is what it's currently sitting at. Let me just remove this stuff over here for a minute. So obviously, right now, like we're currently sitting at this point right here, right? So from actually, hold on a minute. Is this no? This is not even the right one. Why are they showing me the wrong one? I was like, hold on a minute. This ain't the right one. Uh, Federal Reserve recent Fed. Oh, sorry, maybe that's why Fed. I was thinking, hold on a minute. That's not the most recent one. June 17th, right? So we just go on this one here for a minute. What's going on with the? What's been taking so long? Can everyone still hear me all right? Yeah. The internet's bugging out. What's happening right now? Here we go. Much better. So yeah, guys, just let me know if you got okay, cool, you can. So just going back to the Fed dot plot, because I was thinking this this looks a little bit different than what the last one looked like. But yeah, we're currently sitting at 3.75%, which is above this line right here. So we've got a lot more, Fed members thinking that we're potentially going to see rates either stay the same or have one hike or multiple hikes, right? And only one Fed member thinks that we're going to see a cut. So one out of what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, or 19. But yeah, unless I miscounted. But we've only got one Fed member thinking that we're going to get a rate hike, a rate cut, sorry, if you will. That's not very that's not very dovish, if you will. It's not very, very bearish for the dollar, if you will. So for me, when you add all of these things together, yeah, so the dots are members. Yeah, so I'm still a bit confused on how you read it for dot plot. Can you explain at the end with Q? Yeah, 100, bro. Just remind me when we get to the end of it, and I'll definitely check it out for you. Inflation doesn't seem too bad at the moment. I don't think it's enough for rate. Yeah, I agree. I don't think because I think if that was the case, they probably would have cut it on the last reading, right? I think if we continue to see inflation, like core inflation, continue making its way up, like, and we see a sustained trend of okay, inflation is actually like it's taking the mick right now. Like we're actually seeing it going the wrong direction, and we're repeatedly seeing that. It will get to the point where Mr. Walsh will be like, yeah, we need to cut the rates. Um, Obviously, I know it's not just one member that decides that, but they will come to a consensus of, all right, we need to, hike the rates. And if we see that, then yeah, I think that can start. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that could definitely, give us some heavy bearishness on indices if we also see see the earnings come out lower. I mean, even if we don't, they rate the hike. If they, I say rate the hikes, hike the rates. Jesus Christ. If they do hike the rates, then money will start to flow, will continue to flow out of risky assets and into safe assets. Because again, the for those of you that don't know, the interest rates are correlated with the government bond yields. So if the yield is going up, right, the yield is going up, keep it, on keeping your money with a dollar buying US government bonds, and you're gonna get let's say the yields go up to 5%, right? That's a guaranteed 5% on the on your bread. Do you know what I mean? Well, code switching here on your money, right? You guys know I'm not too formal with it, but you guys get the point, right? Like it might not mean a lot if you just, if you put out a thousand, if you're buying £1,000 worth of government bonds, but these investors are putting serious bread up. Do you know what I mean? So it's like if that's the case, 5%, a guaranteed 5% on, 10 M's. Do you know what I mean? You could get that, or you can risk keeping your money in risky assets that, historically, when inflation does go up, they go down. As an investor, what are you going to do? You're going to keep you're going to buy you're going to buy the safe asset that's guaranteeing you 5% on your money. So again, if the rates do get hiked and rates do go up, then yeah, we will start to see a lot more money flowing out of US indices, your US 30s and your Nasdaqs and your US 30s and your Russell 2000s and so on and so forth, right? Is that clear to everybody? Is everyone understanding as to what we're kind of getting from inflation right now? Yeah, perfect, cool. So next up, obviously GDP, right? So what is GDP? GDP is an indicator, or it's a number that is indicating whether the economy is expanding or it's contracting, right? So if I just go back over to, why is it doing that this week? Click on that and then go back to here. So GDP, right? Final GDP. So again, what is GDP? Gross domestic product. And again, what does that measure? That measures that what, let's just keep it simple. It tells us whether the economy in the US is expanding or whether it's contracting, right? And if, like, let's just go layer by layer. The labor market is currently doing pretty all right, right? Which means people are getting jobs, people have money, so on and so forth. We can see that inflation has been obviously going up. What does GDP measure? Again, is the economy expanding, i.e., is there money being like is money flowing into the economy? Are people spending money, or are they not? Because the more people spend money, the more the economy will expand. And obviously, the less people spend money, obviously the opposite takes place, and we start to see a contraction within these markets. So if the GDP is going up, then that means that, there is more, products being bought and sold, right? And if that's the case, that's good for the economy. And we're seeing a reflection of that because the last reading, which was from last quarter, was 1.6%. And we've now gone up by what, 0.5% up to 2.1%. So that means there's been a 0.5%, if you will, increase in the growth in the economy. Does that make sense? Right? Does that not make sense to anybody? Let me know. Yeah. So if that's the case, and we're seeing that, yeah, GDP is also climbing up, that's good for the dollar. That's showing that the dollar, the economy is doing pretty well. And if the economy is doing pretty well, obviously people are going to be more confident to buy into, US government bonds. Because again, like we have a hawkish narrative with the Fed. We're seeing inflation going up. Investors know that if inflation continues going up, they're going to eventually need to hike the rates. And if the rates do get hiked, then it means more return on their investment. So again, it's a cycle, and GDP is part of that cycle. We're seeing that the economy is expanding. So that's also a bullish, narrative for the dollar, and a little bit bearish for indices. So that's lows on a percentage basis. Yeah, for real, bro. So I was about to say Tom, Jesus Christ. Does that? I know you asked about GDP earlier. Does that make a bit more sense, right? So then once it starts contracting, that's a sign of inflation go. Yeah. So when we see no that so contracting is when it's going smaller. So when we see an expansion, that's an indicator that inflation is obviously going higher. Because again, inflation going higher means that people are spending money. And if people are spending money, that's going to improve the economy. Why? Because economic growth. More products are being sold, more services are being sold, businesses are doing better. Does that make sense, my bro? So and obviously businesses thriving is obviously what is good for GDP. So money cycles kind of yeah, exactly. And if you understand the cycle of money, this is what I always say as well, like to students in one-to-ones, even on the calls I say it as well, like if you understand the cycle of money, you can start to put a story to what's happening in the future based on what has previously happened in the past, right? Which is why isn't it interesting? A lot of wealthy people, they talk about study history because history tends to, almost repeat itself. It tends to rhyme. That's what Ray Dalio says. And Ray Dalio's he owned the lot, well, was the he ran the largest hedge fund on the planet, which is obviously Bridgewater Associates. So again, these are wealthy, same thing as Warren Buffett. Charlie Munger, you say the same thing, study history, you know? I'm actually reading a book currently. It's called Lessons of History by Will Durant. Will Durant or Durant, depending on if you're American, you've got an American accent, right? But these people, they speak about studying history because if you know what happened in the past, you can project that into what happens in the future. What do we get paid on? Anticipating what can happen in the future and positioning ourselves in the right place to put money in before things go up or take your money out before things go up if you're buying and holding. Obviously we make money on whether the market goes up and down, right? What was the book called again? It's called Lessons of History. Lessons of History. This is a massive book, by the way, not just about money, but just a lot about the history of the world. It's not just money. If you study how things work, he talks about the history of economics. He talks about the history of relationships. So much that it's a serious book. So yeah, just look at Bitcoin. It shows the history of, yeah, there we go. Nobody learns. It's not even that nobody learns, bro. People just, excuse my language, they're too fucking emotional, bro. And we're herd animals. So if you don't raise your awareness to that and start to separate yourself from what the masses are doing, then you're gonna get what the masses get. What do the masses get? They get their cheeks clapped, bro. When it comes to Bitcoin, anyway, they start buying the dip and realize, oh, hold on a minute, that why does it keep dipping? Oh my God, I've lost, 30% of my portfolio. I'm scared now. And then what do? Panic sell. And if you get loads of people doing the same thing at the same time, it's going to cause Bitcoin to come lower and lower and lower, right? So again, like this is why we're all here. We've got what 20 of us on here right now talk about how money works. Most people are too fucking busy with the World Cup. I'm not saying don't watch it, but also like, World Cup's gonna end, and then what happens then? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man. But again, GDP, does that make sense though, Tom? Yeah. Well, to everybody, is anyone unclear of what we've spoken about so far? Has anyone got any questions from a fundamental perspective before we move on? Let me know. Yeah, no problem, my brother. Got you. All clear. Yeah, solid. So moving on. Next week, what we got next week? We have NFP. It feels like NFP was just flipping like last week, bro, like 2 days ago. Why have we got NFP again? Jesus Christ. We've got unemployment rate coming out on Thursday as well. I'm lying actually. I was gonna say most of the dollar stuff comes out on Thursday, but we've actually got Mr. Chairman Walsh, Mr. Kevin Walsh talking on Wednesday as well. So I'm definitely going to be paying attention to this. This is at what time is it? 2 p.m. So I'm going to be paying attention to, oh, we'll be on the call that time actually. So yeah, obviously we can get a little insight as to what is being said by Mr. Kevin Walsh. But yeah, what else? What else? What else? So let me get rid of some of this. Right. Earning hub. Earning hub. I don't think we've got anything major coming out this week. Uh, okay. Why is it just out? My bad. So we got Nike, nothing too crazy. Yeah, we ain't got nothing crazy this week. Nothing crazy next week, nothing crazy. Oh, I've actually the week after we've got a little bit of stuff. It's more the week after that we get like a lot of the major stuff coming up, Goldman Sachs and co, So yeah, this week, so week commencing the 13th of July, yeah, it's going to be a pretty solid week, yeah, pretty big week. If we start getting a lot of weakness in regards to weaker earnings reports, then yeah, 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 we might be in for some sells on indices. But that's neither here or there. We speak about that closer to the time. So yeah, nothing else really. Anyone got any questions? Technical, fundamentally, might be a dead week until Wednesday. Yeah, maybe, bro, maybe. I find that when we have like on weeks where NFP is taking place, it can be pretty quiet in the beginning of the week. So let's see, man. But nonetheless, obviously, if there are opportunities, yeah, I'm gonna be front and center. Well, actually, tell her that I'm actually moving house this week. Well, next week. So, yeah, after Thursday, I'm gonna be a little bit off grid. But yeah, man. So, congrats. Thank you, my bro. Appreciate it, man. Um, so yeah, right, cool. So let's get in some technicals, man. Um, so. Uh, Actually, I'm gonna keep this on here for now. If anyone wants me to send this to them, just let me know and I'll send it over as well. Um, so where's my trading view? Okay, definitely didn't want that on there. Trading view. All right, cool. So dollar, what's going on with the dollar? We start off with a big bad dollar. Yes, bro, made it in. Yeah. Oh, is this who I think this is? iPhone. Is this who I think this is? Yeah. Is it the one and only? Is it the one and only? Let me know. Um, but yeah, what's it called? All right, cool. So yeah. I got you. My brother, man. How you doing, my bro? Hope you're good, man. So yeah. Right. So dollar wise. So if I just come out to the 4 hour real quick. So what are we looking at so far? So obviously we know that from a fundamental perspective, we're bullish on the dollar. Why? Obviously, the hawkish tone with the Fed, inflation making its way higher, GDP now as of Friday's come out, higher as well. So I've got no reason to be a seller on dollar if I'm being real. I feel like there's always a mysterious yeah, bro. Honestly, there's always one in it. Do you know what I mean? There's always one. But I opened this call up to the public this time just to mix things up a little. And I had a few people ask as well. So I was like, you know what? It's what second quarter, and I don't think I did one open one this quarter. So I thought let me bless the public. But yeah. So for again from a dollar perspective, we're bullish fundamentally. Now technically, obviously, yes, I'm still a buyer, but however, previous demand. If I step out to the 8 hour actually, previous demand is all the way down here. You've got your reload in here. I'll just put a little zone down here. You got your reload that was responsible for breaking this high up here. And price can obviously come a little lower as well. I don't think have we got imbalance down here? I think we might have a little bit of imbalance down here as well, right? So we can come a little lower. So my thing right now is that I would like to see if price can make its way down here. On a lower time frame, if I go down to like the 15, we have actually got, a distribution tiny little redistribution. However, I'm thinking that this obviously we're bullish, so we can definitely be setting up for you know a reaccumulation. But it's just, are we going to get the reaccum, or are we going to show? Are we going to see evidence of sellers stepping in and continue making our way lower? If we do see sellers stepping in, we potentially can get some little scalps. I'm trying to Bro, why is this thing not removing this? Oh, here we go. That's why. So yeah, we potentially could get, some very small scalps. Target wise, I'm going to be eyeing up this if we are to, but again, like I don't really want to be selling this thing if I'm being honest, bro. Like, especially with the, GDP coming up higher, PCE coming up higher. I think, I'd be a lot more, um, I'd be a lot more interested, if you will, to see us potentially break this, maybe come back, play a little Cuban here to send it up to these highs, or, 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 or if we can, what will be even nicer is if we can just, break this, confirm the reaccumulation, come back, and obviously just, play the little reaccums, not reaccums, play the little accumulation down here, lower time frame. If you guys remember back on Wednesday, I was saying that I wasn't really feeling any, what day was this? This was on, so where was Wednesday, 2 p.m. So Wednesday, 2 p.m. we were around here. And if you guys remember, those of you that were on the call on Wednesday, go away. Yeah, those of you that were on the call on Wednesday, I was saying I didn't really like the fact that we had this resting liquidity down here. I think someone actually commented on the fact that the liquidity down here was looking pretty juicy as well, if you guys remember. So now we've obviously taken it out. So there's nothing really stopping us from potentially seeing some, some volume coming. Let me go on the dollar futures and see if we've got volume in there. Dollar futures, dollar futures. Where's the dollar futures at? The CME one. I'm bugging out. Uh, okay, that's interesting. Dollar futures. I feel like something's always changing on the trading view, honestly. Uh, but am I going mad or what? I'm not seeing dollar futures nowhere. US dollar futures. I don't. That's not the one I usually use. Oh, here we go. Do we have volume down here? Oof. Oof. Yeah, I like that. Okay, yeah, we potentially could just see this thing just yeah. We potentially could see this thing just break this previous order flow, maybe give us something like that. And yeah, I'll try and send this thing up to these highs because I like that volume. That is pretty damn delicious. That's pretty damn delicious. So yeah, yeah. So if anything, yeah, I don't really want to be trying to get into any sales in here, really. Rather wait and see if we can get that break. So that would be pretty clean if we can. But again, let's see what happens on Tuesday, right? Obviously, we don't trade Monday, um so let's see what happens on Tuesday. Maybe. Yeah, my bet is probably we're gonna end up breaking this high. I'm actually gonna put a little alert up here as well. Put a little alert because I like that. Yeah, that volume was delicious. Vicious and delicious. All right, cool. So let me clean these charts up a little. So we can either get this. Actually, no, I'll move this over here. Here we go, something like this. Yeah, but I'm definitely again like just to clarify, I'm definitely more on the buyer side. I don't really want to be selling in this market just because all the fundamentals are, pretty damn bullish. I don't really want to be, trying to do the counter trend selling thing down to here. Am I saying you absolutely can't do it and it's invalid? No, I'm not saying that. It's just again, when you put everything together, again, like, myself and Kieran always say, you want to put a narrative, like a storyline to this. Do you see what I'm saying? If you don't have a storyline, you shouldn't really be trading it. Do you know what I mean? So, and we have a storyline to this, and it's not bearish. So for me, I'm gonna be more on the side of trying to buy this thing. Let me check the chat real quick though. It's not CME. It's yeah, 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 yeah. I clocked. I'm just so used to seeing CME with everything in it, so I forgot it. So since we're bullish on the dollar, we can expect a bearish tone or something on. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I'm gonna go through that in a minute as well. Um, uh, this may be a silly question, bro, but as much as I'm a beginner, when looking at charts, I mean, looking at the box theory strategy based on previous days' highs and lows and continuing that into the current day's market. But do you think it's a sustainable theory, bro? I'll be honest, like I don't even like when I hear the word theory and this and that, bro, I check out, bro. With me, bro. I keep it very, very simple, and I can't answer your question to the best of my ability just because I don't understand like box theory and like I don't really understand these concepts. So like with me, I'll always say it like it is. I'm very much locked in on what I do, and I'm just not sure about everything else. I really just stay in my own bubble. Warren Buffett calls it staying in your what does he call it? Circle of competence, I think he calls it. So yeah, I just don't know. But what I do know is that Wyckoff is pretty sustainable. So obviously I know you want to obviously you're looking to work, start working with us. So yeah, bro, I just don't know for all this. I mean, like, what I will say is that all strategies work. It's the person, it's the person that's working it. Even Wyckoff, there's people out here still losing. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not about the strategy, it's about you. Is your psychology correct? Are you even applying your strategy correctly? Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, I know that's not the sexiest answer. You probably don't want to hear that, but that's just the only answer I can give you at this point, my bro. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man. Moving on to the to the not the dollar, the EU. Let me send this to you guys real quick actually in the groups. I said to myself, you know what, I'm just gonna commit to sending it first thing all the time because I always end up forgetting. As soon as I as soon as I get some food in my belly, I'm like, yeah, I don't know anything else anymore, you know? So let me send this to you guys right now, and then we can get on to the rest of the other stuff we've got on. There we go. Cool. So, everyone clear on the dollar? Anyone got any questions on the dollar? Let me know. If not, we can move on to GU and EU. Yes, I want to see this thing. I want to see EU and GU just sell off, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I want to see them sell off. Um, cool. So, all right, sick. So 6E. 60. There we go. Cool. So, again, just the same thing as the dollar, just the inverse, right? You guys know already, like the dollar trades, well, EU and GU trade inverse to what the dollar's doing. And we know that the dollar, especially with that volume that we saw in there as well, we potentially can get, that previous, redistro can be broken. I will pay attention to what happens in there, same way as I'll pay attention to what happens in here, right? So for me, like I'm gonna pay attention to what happens in here. So I've got we haven't come into this area, have we? No, we haven't. Um, so what I want to do, let me just put an alert here. I'll put an alert at this 50 and I'll pay attention to what is going to happen when, when the dollar comes into that previous area, if it's to come into that, right? If it does and we start to see lower time frame evidence of sellers coming in, then you can attempt to, counter trend buy this thing up. But I'm not a big fan, bro. I'll be honest with you. Like, yes, I know we have, we still got supply up here, I know that we can see price make its way up here. I'm very aware of that. But again, fundamentally, I don't know if we've got a reason to make our way all the way up here. I'm not saying we can't, just right now as I see it, I don't see a reason for us to make our way all the way up here with what we've just had happen at the end of last week. So again, I'm gonna pay attention to what happens down here. I will, but yeah, right now I prefer I prefer this. I'll be honest, man. I prefer price to break this low. Just put that there. Yeah, I prefer price to break this little order flow, come back, give me evidence of seller stepping in. I'm trying to sell this thing down again, bro. I'll be honest with you. So so yeah, has anyone got anything different? Is anyone not understanding as to why I'm looking at the euro like this? Any questions? This is the time. This is I know I say it all the time. You guys are bored of hearing me saying it, um, but yeah, like ask the questions. Gold confuses me on an economic basis. I'm about to break up with Goldilocks and get with GU futures, bro. Like, I'll be honest, man. Like, obviously, recently it's been, it's been pretty, pretty clear, if you will. However, like, I don't really trade gold that much, bro. Like, I caught something this was it Thursday, just gone or Friday, one of the two. I think it was Friday actually. But like, it doesn't provide that many. It hasn't been providing that many clean entries, like this year, if I'm being honest with you. So I'm always more inclined to trade, GU than gold. But obviously, when gold does provide opportunities, I'm gonna take them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, No, do you know what, bro? It's not even a diss. It's just my data. Like, bro, I haven't traded gold before this week. I haven't really traded gold like heavy this year. I think I traded gold like twice this year, if I'm not mistaken. Do you know what I mean? And I can't lie, they were both pretty all right. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, but if I look at my data and look at what I'm trading most of the time, I'll be honest, bro. Like I'm in love with US indices, bro. Like I love them like it's my girlfriend. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like, but I just don't feel the same about gold and silver. Gold and silver, are like some like I don't know, like some what's it called, like some mistresses or something. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, yeah, that's my thing on gold and silver. Like they are good to trade when they provide good entries, but for me, it just doesn't provide this many so much all the time. Do you know what I mean? You know. But I'm with you though. When they're doing their thing, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Am I going to explain how news affects the market? Yeah, that's what we spent the beginning of the call talking about, bro. I'm guessing you was a little bit late, unless you're talking about gold and silver. Um, let me know, my bro. What are your reasons, bro, for not trading gold as opposed to trading the currencies? No, I'll trade it. It's just again, like I was saying earlier, like um, I'm not like I'm not. It doesn't provide as many entries, so it's like that's why I'm not super like aggressive with like in regards to. I know a lot of people. It's probably not the coolest thing to say because everyone on TikTok or Instagram or flipping wherever, everyone's trading gold and everyone loves gold and everyone's like, do you get what I'm saying? But it's just like, yeah, it hurts. It's crazy, bro. It hurts. It's crazy, but yeah, like, yeah, for me, it just doesn't provide as many like super clean entries as of recent anyway. But again, that can change. Um, so yeah, Oz. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, bro, like I'm gonna send the recording at the end of this, so maybe just watch the beginning of this over again, and you'll understand like what we're looking at from a macroeconomics perspective. But yeah, what can a person do to educate themselves to understand how to trade and start learning about trading? Forget being profitable, just learn. I mean, bro, you're in the right place right now, my bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, I did a interview with Kieran that also hosts the calls as well. I learned a lot from him. That's my brother, right? And the rules that I mentioned in there that I think everyone should really go off is number one, find someone that has got the results that you want. Ask them questions, get on a call with them if you can, and like pick. I hate this term. Pick their brain, right? Ask questions. Forget picking their brain. Just ask questions. Once you've found the person you want to work with, then number two, what you want to do is you want to, start working with them. If that means you got to pay. If that means you got to provide a service for them, maybe I don't know, you're a video editor and they can teach you. Maybe you swap services. See what I'm saying? Whatever you got to do, but learn from that person. And then when you are learning from that person, bro, do whatever the fuck they say, bro. Excuse my language, but it's an epidemic. People will find someone, they will pay money, they will start to learn, and then their coach tells them what to do, and it's like, I don't really want to do that. And then they go and do something else, and it's like, brother, brother. Do you get what I'm saying? And then yeah, then you get your work reviewed, and then you do it again, and you just rinse and repeat. That's the best way to learn, in my opinion. You can learn on your own, but every time I get so many people reach out to me, and it's like, bro, I've been learning my own for ages, and it's like, okay, cool, great. Like, what's your results like? And they're like, oh no, it's not working. And it's like, okay, well, cool. Let me advise you to do this then. And then they do it and then they start getting results, or they don't do it and then they end up not getting results. And then after some time, they get bogged down about it. And then next thing you know, trading doesn't work anymore. Go figure, you know? But yeah, I was just trying to agree. Just wanted to beef you. Oh, no, I get you. Like, yeah. See, look at Marcio trolling me. Right, let me blast through these comments real quick and then I'll get back into the market outlook. Where are you going to send it on? I'm going to send it on. Are you working with myself or Kieran, or did you reach out to me for the link? If so, just message me after this and I'll send it over to you, my bro. I'll send it on Telegram. Ask only because telegroups they all go for yeah. Exactly, they all go for gold. But it's like if you remember what happened when the war got announced on the 1st of March, I think it was the 28th of February. Everyone was talking about how gold's going to hit 6K and da da da. And I made a video. Those of you that have been following me for a while, I made a video talking about it. Lo and behold, look at what gold's been doing. Do you know what I mean? The masses they're not well educated. They're not well versed. They're not aware of what they should be doing. They're just following the crowd. And you know what happens with that. Go broke. Um, yeah, that's what I mean. Sort of investments you can make to yeah. Yeah, bro. I mean, obviously you could work with myself, it doesn't have to be me, but I do believe I can help. I've got people in here that I have helped and people that are doing pretty well off it. Or you find someone else. Obviously make sure they know what they're talking about and then take it from there, my bro. When I was losing to trades because I was too aggressive and prioritize looking for micros and POIs and stuff. Yeah, bro, reviewing your data is yeah, it's important, man. Do you know what I mean? Let me just what's it called? Your goal is to become the best possible student. Only once. Yeah, you gotta become a good student, bro. If not, then you're just wasting your time, bro. Do you know what I mean? And intuition, bro. That's a sin around here, bro. Yeah, we don't use that. Yeah, the I word. That's like the F word in here. Yeah, we don't use that word. Intuition. Tuh, tuh, yuck. Yeah. Fair enough. Good luck with your guru era. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But side note, is there a date on the event yet? Nah. I'm gonna chat with Kieran actually. I think it's end of like July. Which is gonna be a bit tight actually, because I was planning to try and I'm trying to hit Greece, man. I'll be honest. I'm trying to go to Greece. I won't lie to you. Um, but yeah, like yeah, if it's to be the end of July, I'll make myself available. I know Kieran's gonna be around towards the end of July, I think, or mid-July, something like that. But I'll yeah, like we'll make it happen, definitely. We'll make it happen for real. Um, but yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna, do you know what? All your questions, put them in the chat and just remind me if I haven't answered them. We're gonna go through all of them at the end, yeah. Just because I want to blast through the market outlook so everyone's clear on what we're doing, right? So again, yeah, with Euro, I want to see this low get broken. Potentially, I'm gonna put an alert down here as well. Um, I want to monitor what happens when we come into this little reaccumulation in here. You know, this little order flow play down here. If we get evidence of buyer stepping in and there's volume and the dollar showing weakness, then again, my hand will be forced and we'll have to try and play the counter trend plays. But I don't really want to, if I'm being honest. I'd rather see this low break. So, you know, we have to play what we see, not try and guess it, right? So, anyone got any questions in regards to Euro? Anyone got any questions in regards to Euro? Let me know. Let me know. Mm. Hmm. Floating around Europe till then. Oh, okay, yeah, no stress, my bro. I'm gonna chat to Kieran. I'll talk to Kieran this week actually. I'll talk to Kieran this week and we'll lock something in. But yeah. Yeah, all right, cool. No questions on Euro. So let me send this to you guys and then maybe we can get on with pound. Last time I checked, pound wasn't looking too wicked, but let's see. Um, so, so. There we go. Cool. Right. So pounds. What's going on with the pound? Pound. 6B. Let's have a look. So we're in demand right now. Um, can we come higher on this? Oh, we can come higher. We've broken it. Okay, cool. Yeah, so not demand, supply, sorry. So I'd like to see price come a little higher. However, where we are currently, where we are currently, um, we're in this tiny little, supply right now and get rid of this. So I want to see what price does when we get in here. So practically in the same area as euro and pound, right? Euro and dollar right now. So again, like if we see evidence of buyer stepping in and we see evidence of seller stepping in on the dollar, at the same time we're seeing, dollar giving a distribution lower time frame, then yeah, again, like we may have to just play what we see and try and send this thing higher. But again, I'm more on the sell side. It just makes the most sense right now. So I'd prefer to see something like this, like break, come in here, give me a lower time frame distro and see if we can ride this thing down. That's gonna be like the thing that I want the most. But again, the market doesn't give a shit what I want. Do you know what I mean? So, if we do see lower time frame, we see, price starting to accumulate and don't watch my accumulation. It's drawing is horrible. But yeah, then I'll have to try and play this up, But yeah, I just don't really like it. I just don't really like it. So let's see. Um, yeah. Yeah, so that's how I'm seeing pound right now. I don't really see any other way to really look at it right now, if I'm being honest. Um, Again, I could be wrong. Like, I mean, this thing could still build out like a larger accumulation and come higher. definitely could. So again, like I said, we got to just we have to wait and see. But for me right now, like as I look lower time frame at where we are, if we can break this low, come back, give a lower time frame distro, then yeah, I'll definitely be trying to play that 100%. 100%. So I just want to see that strength on dollar. Obviously, we don't trade on Mondays, so it'll be Tuesday. So by Tuesday, we'll have a better idea of what whether the dollar wants to give that strength or not. I think the Labour situation with Burnham will have an effect on GBP. I mean, I don't really look at what's going on with the pound. Like, I don't really care what's going on with the pound per se. I'm more worried about what's going on with the dollar, my bro. Do you know what I mean? If I'm being honest, this is gonna sound mad, but UK economics isn't what. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. It's dollar, bro. It's dollar. Nah, bro. Yeah, you ain't gotta be sorry. You're learning, bro. Do you know what I mean? Don't be sorry. Yeah, you ain't gotta apologize. This is a safe space for traders. Like, if there's something you don't know, ask, bro. And that's what you're doing. So big up, man. Do you know what I mean? I'll just say it like that because that's just how it is. I'd rather tell you like that now than you make a mistake trying to trade based off of, the pound economics, if that makes sense. Um, so yeah, when you trade GU, is that mainly during New York or London? I find most of my setups that I take on GU are usually if anything, usually like New York slash New York Stock Exchange. Obviously like I can take trades during New York, but sorry, during London, but a lot of the time I'll be honest, like I'll have alerts set, but I like to do my thing in the morning. Like you guys, if you follow me on Insta, you know I'm in the gym in the mornings. Do you know what I mean? I'm in the gym in the mornings. I spend time with my daughter in the mornings. So a lot of the time I'm finding that my trades are usually taking that if I'm taking anything on pound, it's usually in the afternoon, you know. What made you start trading and how long have you been trading before? I'm gonna answer that, my bro. I'm gonna answer that. Bear with me, yeah. I'm gonna answer that at the end just so I can answer it in a bit more detail for you. Um, and I don't like to half answer questions, if that makes sense. So yeah, but yeah, leave that with me. I'm gonna check that out for you, my bro. But yeah, any questions on pound, ladies and gents? Any questions on pound? Let me know. So let me just send this in the group. Let me send this in the group. Is it better to send it on here? No, I'll do it on the 15. Um, yeah, so I'll send it on here. Let me zoom out. Do 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 do. This is a wild side note, yeah. But I've heard that they're bringing out the old Black Ops on PS5. Is that true, or was someone trolling me? Like Black Ops 1 and 2, apparently they're bringing them out on PS5. If that's the case, yeah, you can see I'm smiling already. Do you know what I mean? Right, so that's GU and EU. Right, indices. Let's talk about indices. Heard that too. Okay, makes sense. Um, okay, yeah, that makes me feel a lot better now. So on pound, we can expect shorts if dollar continues showing strength. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely. Like if we start seeing strength on dollar and we break that order flow that we were just talking about earlier on the dollar, I'm gonna be a bit more aggressive with buys just because fundamentally, that's the only thing that makes sense. All the fundamentals are leaning towards buying the dollar and selling EU and GU. So I'm going to be looking to do just that, my brother. Um, Still got PS4, which I don't even switch. Oh, lol. Yeah, man, bro. I'll be honest, man. I prefer like, bro. I've been banging out Nintendo Wii, bro. That's what I've been on recently. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Wii Sports. Bro, no one wants to play me at that, bro. Tennis, golf, bowling. Bro, stop, man. Stop. But yeah, what's it called? Right. So. Let me. So what's leading right now? US indices. Let's just split this up real quick. So Dow, you've got ES in here, you've got NQ in here. Right, there we go. So what's going on right now? What's going on? Let me go to the 4 hour. Okay, so So it looks, wait, is this on? I was about to say, what the hell is that? All right, cool. So it looks to me as if so YM is still leading on the buyer side. It's still leading on the buyer side. Um, it looks like well, ES and NAS are in the same sort of spot right now at the 50. Uh yeah, okay, cool. YM's leading right now, even though, bro, I feel like YM is always in a world of its own, bro, honestly. So YM, what's YM doing right now? Okay, cool. So what I'm seeing now, I mean, obviously we're still inside this little, this little minor reaccumulation. Right, go on the 1 hour. Um, yeah, we're still in this little minor reaccumulation here. So I'm still waiting to see if we're gonna get bias stepping, but it's just not really looking like that. Like mid last week, I was like, bro, yeah, like we were seeing NAS and ES starting to build out accumulations, and then they're just like it's just not it's not really giving me what I want to see. So on YM, I want to see if we're going to get some evidence of bias stepping. I don't think we haven't built out an accumulation just yet, I'm sure. Mm, sure we haven't. Nah, we're just building right now. You've got your larger retracement. Yeah, yeah, it just looks messy, bro. So yeah, I just there's nothing I want to do on this right now, if I'm being honest. If we start seeing strength bias stepping in, um then I'll look to trade Nasdaq or ES because obviously this is leading, so I'm not trying to trade this. So yeah, I want to see if we can, start seeing strength from this, if anything. Like that's all I really have to wait for right now. Um, because yeah, like we haven't started building out an accumulation just well, we haven't built out an accumulation, should I say, just yet. So there's nothing really to do in this. Let me check the chat real quick. Uh, that's how you know I know you're a real one. Where's that? Yeah, bro. I didn't even buy a Switch, bro, because I was like, bro, this is just like a fancy playoff on the Nintendo Wii, but real ones know, man. Do you know what I mean? But you have to smoke weed, bro. Wait, all right. You know what? I was talking to one of my guys. Yeah, I'm gonna host like a Wii event somewhere. Yeah, I'm gonna get a big projector. Yeah, and yeah, I've actually got a place in mind actually. Yeah. So anyone that's in London, or if you're not in London, if you're outside of London and you want to make your way, yeah, make your way, bro. I got like I'll have to count. I think I've got like 4 controllers, but I can buy some in CX or something. Yeah, I'm about to make an adult youth club, bro. Do you get me? We're all, yeah, we're all children of God. So what's it called? So yeah, I'm about to make that happen, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because a lot of people have been talking a lot of smoke. I haven't got Mario Kart on deck because, bro, yeah, yeah, it's wait. Don't think because I don't think because I trade, I can't get active, Yeah. I'm a real menace when it comes to Mario Kart, bro. Do you get it? You know? But yeah, I'm gonna keep you guys updated on that one still because I'm definitely trying to do that. Like you guys know already, man. I'm just a big kid with it. Do you know what I mean? So, outside of I feel like becoming more free from like trading these markets and like, having my business or whatever. Like it's enabled me to be the big child that I've always wanted to be. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man. But yeah, yeah, you lot pull up, man. Definitely, definitely. And have a little tournament, something going on. Um, but yeah, yeah. There's nothing here I want to do on this thing right now. I'll be honest. So I'll send you guys the chart, but yeah, there's nothing really to really do on this right now. Obviously, we've got demand down here. Obviously the previous reaccumulation. So if we end up seeing weakness, then bro, go away, man. If we start seeing weakness, then this could be the potential distro to maybe bring us down into this. Um, at which point we could still see buyers stepping in and sending this thing up. But, you know, based on where we are currently, there's nothing to do right now, if I'm being very real with you guys. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave Dow to see what's going on. Um, so yeah, we'll revisit on Tuesday. I know obviously Kieran's hosting on Tuesday, and that's so obviously Kieran will speak on that on Tuesday as well. But I can't lie, man. I actually love this Sunday calls, you know. I'll be so real. I was talking to my girl about it the other day. I said, bro, like these Sunday calls, man, make me smile still. Right, so ES, 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 ES. So we're still inside this demand area right now. Now, on this, I was like when we were in here, yeah. So we've had that one drive, two, three. Like I was looking at this, licking my lips at one point, and then yeah, it just like when we got this, I think it was when we got this spring. That's when I was like, okay, if we break this, maybe we can get to catch the, a Cume or the rear Cume or like a little LPS entry or something. Um, but yeah, this thing has just been acting stubborn, bro. And I'm like the way I like, bro, why did they spend like why did they put so much effort? And again, it could be a larger like vacuum, you've got maybe one, got one, maybe like two, three, maybe this is your final manipulation, maybe we do something like that and go, maybe. Um, but yeah, we're just spending a lot of time here right now. So let's see, man. Like, right, yeah, like I just I just don't really know what I really want to do in here right now. If I'm being honest, like there's nothing. It's really calling me. Let me check the chat because I think I've missed out a lot of what's it called. Uh, London or not, you're there, yeah, yeah. Say no more. Say no more. Yeah, I'm gonna shout my guy after this actually because he's the one that sorting out the. He's got a venue in mind. So yeah, on your charts, bro, there are you looking for potential targets or potential trading on Tuesday? Yeah, no, to trade on Tuesday. So we don't actually trade. Well, I don't trade Mondays. Reason being, Monday, I call it Monday mess up, bro, because the market's like a lot of manipulation takes place on Monday, and again, like even outside of that, like I used to trade Mondays, and like maybe one in one or yeah, maybe like one or two out of like five trades, they're just losing, bro, and it's like the ratio in which I was winning on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday compared to Monday, it was just horror, bro. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I'm just gonna cut out Mondays, and it makes life easier for me because I like to take Monday as my day to set up for the week. So like, journal the last week, look at what my targets and my goals are for the week, for that starting week and so on and so forth. So yeah, man, like I'm what's it called? I'm yeah, I don't trade Monday. So yeah, I'm looking for something to trade potentially on Tuesday. But right now there's just nothing really to trade on any of these. We're seeing buyers potentially be stepping in, but we haven't seen confirmation that like this accumulation hasn't even been confirmed. So yeah, there's nothing I really want to do on this. Are you sending this info out here in your personal tellies or yeah, so I sent it in the groups, but what's it called? I'll send me a message after this on Telegram and I'll send it all to you, my bro. Um so yeah, gee, I missed it for real 2 weeks. Yeah, bro. I know last year because last week was Father's Day, innit? And I think the week before, what happened the week before? Can't remember what happened the week before. I think oh yeah, I was out of the country those times, innit? I think if I'm not mistaken. I did see a trade on Friday. We'll send a case study after that. Yeah, no stress, my brother. Is that range you marked out there on ES? So isn't it a redistribution in your eyes? Guess there are no cause and effect. So yeah, yeah. So I haven't actually touched this since Friday. So um, for me, yeah, I was looking at this as an accum initially, but no, I'm not looking at it as a redistro just yet. Why? Because like when we haven't seen that proper shakeout and make its way lower. That if we saw something like this and then price did that, then yeah, maybe. But right now I'm looking at it as a potentially could just be part of a larger accumulation. But it tried to accumulate, it failed. That's why I'm a little bit like it's not really telling me that buyers are in control right now. Do you know what I mean? But we're still in demand and we haven't broken this low yet. So we definitely could still see, buyers step in. We just haven't seen it just yet. So that's for that reason. There's nothing that I'm really like too interested in right now. If I'm being real with you, my bro. So yeah, let's see. So the way I'm seeing it right now is if we can get something like that, then maybe. Or maybe we don't get price make its way back down into the 50 of this. Maybe we get something like this instead, where we get the reaccum, and then we would trade the reaccum and play it like that. So yeah, I think that out of those two, like it's going to be one of these two. I don't really see any other reason for me to buy this right now. Like it's funny because as I look back at my journey, I used to be that guy that was like, oh, we're in here now, and buyers could be stepping in, and I'll just be trying to just get in, like just because I feel like buyers are gonna step in, and I'm just getting spanked, bro. Do you know what I mean? So now I just like, bro, I just sit back and wait, bro. I've got my alert, and if it goes off, great. I'll look for the buyers. If not, then I just won't. I just won't if I'm being honest. Um, so yeah, so that's ES for me. Let me send this to you guys in the group as well. Um, yeah, yeah, it's not really put this a little bit lower. Now, by the way, just to clarify as well, like if we so let me like if we come into this, then I'm gonna wait for the high to get broken. So I'll be waiting for something like that. So really and truly, like I don't really like if we come up high and we come into the 50, I'm not because again we could come low off this and continue low. So I don't really want to get caught in that either. So unless we get price, just break the high, not come into the 50, then give me that accum, lower time frame, then I can play something. But if we break, come into the 50 of this, I'm gonna be a little bit turned off, I'll be honest, and I'll need to wait for that to get broken. So right now, again, it's gonna really be down to on um what price wants to do during the course of Monday. Obviously, we've got the news of Wednesday, so that could be a catalyst for something to happen, hopefully. Do you know what I mean? Because yeah, the indices this week has just been a little bit rubbish in my eyes. So yeah. Right, I didn't send this in a group, did I? Let me send this now. Let me send this now. Let me send this now. Uh, so what I'm going to do actually, let me put this up here like that. There we go. Something like this. Oh, Um, let me send this in the groups real quick. Uh, and oh, this I just seen your message, yeah, so I'll send that to you, my bro. I'll send that. What I'll do is when the call's finished, I'll just forward all of them to you at the same time. That's not a problem. Right. So Naz, Naz. Let me check the chat real quick. No, Nate, I took this NQ and 5 second accumulation wasn't confirmed yet, but yes, I'd really already confirmed it. Scan also called the entry. I decided to take it after reducing my risk. Eventually, got stopped out. Price moves against me. Looking back at the trade now, I think I switched to lower time and LTD too quickly. Uh, and I reviewed the chart cleaner. Okay, cool. So entry is based on um, being cleaner. So what do you think? Okay, cool. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the charts on here, and I'm gonna check it out for you once I finish the market outlook. If I forget, please just remind me. Yeah. Uh, yeah, right now there's not much to do on indices from where I'm sitting right now. I'll be so real with you, my bro. Which is sad as well because it's like it was shaping up to be it looked pretty nice in the beginning. Like, bro, like we had I was looking at like we had 1, 2, 3 final manipulation break. And I was looking at this down here. I was looking to see if we could get anything lower time frame in here, and then prices end up breaking the low. We're still not obviously I'm not bearish just yet because obviously this is a low that is maintaining this previous reaccumulation, right? So we can definitely come low and see volume coming in, but right now it's just like now if I get rid of this, um, yeah, I'm at least gonna need to see like a break of this at least. And even then, when we do, we're gonna be sitting in the 50 of this thing in here. So, unless we get something like, if we break this high, yeah, it just looks a bit messy right now, but I'll be real, man. It just doesn't look that great. Obviously, we definitely still can, break this high. So I'm gonna put that up here. But I think I'm gonna need to wait. I'm gonna need to see this get broken at that point because yeah, I don't want to like at that point, if we do come up here, we'll still be in supply. And my journal tells me that if I'm buying in supply, I'm just gonna get my ass beat, bro. Be real. So Yeah, I think for me, I can even get rid of this now, to be honest. Actually, no. Let me just move it over. Let me move it over. Uh, so we've got that. Um, yeah, I'd like to just see this get broken first, if I'm being honest. Maybe something like that. So yeah, just don't really see much else for me to get into based on this. Indices are trash right now, man. Horrible, horrible right now. Horrible. They need to give me some strength this week, or just give me the weakness and let's let me start selling this thing off. You know what I mean? One and two. It's got me here in limbo right now. I'm looking forward to the Q&A though. It seemed like you guys got quite a few questions, so we'll get into that. Right. So that is US indices. Not NAS, sorry, UK 100. What's this thing doing? UK 100 looks like it's been moving pretty clean, no? Do you mainly scout indices or more swing? I'll be honest, bro. Like more re like recently, not even recently, more just like scalp slash intraday. Like I'm usually in and out like in the same day or like in this like couple of days. Um, if there's an opportunity to swing it, I will. But recently, with like the buy areas we've been looking at and with the buy areas we've been looking at and like the targets, they just haven't really been given much swing opportunities. So I haven't really been swinging them personally. We've come low into the 80%, accumulate, reaccumulate, and booth. We're still buying. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, at that point, yeah, like we can. Well, actually, do you know, what? Before I answer, before I commit to that, let me just make sure I'm clear. So on NAS, yeah, if we come deeper into the 80 and we see volume and we break all the flow and continue, playing higher, like playing it higher. So something like this, right? So let's say we got something like, let's say we got something like this coming to the 80, something like this. Why do that? Let me just move this one out of the way. Just be easier for everybody. But yeah, so like if we were to get this coming to the 80, break, reaccumulate, then yeah, like I'd be happy to play that. If we had volume down here as well, be even better. But obviously I can only just play what I can see now. And obviously we're not really seeing that just yet. But yeah, you're right, bro. You're definitely right. Like we definitely could. It's just again, you also want to factor in, are we seeing strength on um on YM and ES as well? If you're looking to do that, like you have to factor these things in because if not, imagine the other two are showing weakness and we get that, then you're probably gonna get clapped out. Do you know what I mean? But I hope that answers your question, my bro. Uh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 you're right, my bro. Would be sort of serious random showing off the intuition. Yeah, yeah, not the intuition method. Bro. Imagine I ended my call, I was like just talking. I was like, yep, all right, I'm done for the night. Time to watch a film. Nah, no way, man. I couldn't do you like that. Definitely not. But right, so UK 100. With UK 100, I feel like it's been moving cleaner than the rest of the US indices, I'll be honest. Um, yeah, so what's been going on in here? So we ended up breaking this high, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we did. So we've broken the high now. So technically, technically, this. Let me just get rid of all this one. Oh yeah, I've done it already. Don't know what this zone is about. Unless that's the reload. Oh, it's the reload. That's why. So yeah, technically, we'd either be looking to see. So what we do lower time frame in here? What we do lower time frame in here? Ugh. Do we get volume in here? Okay, not in the low. A little bit of volume, but nothing too crazy. Um, okay, so let me just zoom out real quick. So I'm not being super aggressive in here personally. Reason being because we definitely can come low. We haven't come into the 50 just yet. Let me just drag this back a little to where the high actually got broken. Let me move this out of the way. For a sec, let's clean this thing up real quick. So that's my reload. So that's my zone. I was looking to see pricing, and obviously we can still come a bit lower as well. Um, but the way I'm looking at this is that when we came into this, what did we do? So we broke up here. We broke kind of ugly distro looking thing up here. Don't really like it. We seeing volume in here? What's going on in here? Is this what we're seeing the volume? I see. I see. I see. What's going on down here then? What's going on down here? Someone got scammed. Who got scammed? Who's getting scammed? I know something about getting scammed, boy. Dark. Dark. I had a lot of volume in here. Jesus. Yeah, right. I'm gonna need to see if we're gonna get more strength from this. Obviously, this is gonna be on Monday, so I'm not gonna be paying attention to any of this. So, from what I'm looking at right now, can we see something like this? Try and send it to the highs. It's a little bit aggressive. But I mean, we still, considering we still can make our way down here, but we've had a lot of volume in here, so we could potentially just go up from here. So, we definitely still. Oh, let me just put this fib up here as well. So we definitely still could come down to the 80. That's still an option as well. Yeah, they're the two things that will get me into buys right now. These two things personally would get me into buys right now. Yeah, that's about it, on UK 100. I'll be honest. Join the network market. Oh, networking group. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, you didn't want to say the name. Yeah, because we spoke about this. All right, guys. The company's name is Gifu. No, well, I'm not joking. Yeah, that. Yeah, I just you guys know me already. I say it like it is, man. What's it called? Yeah. I mean, this is the thing with network marketing companies, man. Like, I was in one, so I would say it like it is, bro. Like, it's a great place to do personal development and maybe get a beginning understanding as to how network marketing works, like as how to trading works, I guess. But you ain't gonna. A lot of the time, you're not gonna be profitable inside a network marketing company. Like, for the vast majority of the time, it's just not gonna happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, you guys know I've never ever, everyone in here can vouch. I've never tried getting anyone to promote anything to anybody. We come in here, we talk about trading and Nintendo Wii from time to time. Do you know what I mean? And it's just Forex related, market related. And trying to get you to call no friends or no nothing, man. Neither is Kieran. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's, yeah. Anyway, let me not even open that can of worms. That's a conversation for a different day. But yeah, UK 100. This is how I'm looking at it right now. Of course, we could also, break this high and just come back in and, give the rear cube in here as well. Um, but yeah, I'll be a buyer until I see like no reason to be buying this thing anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because we're if we just zoom out for a minute, what do we do? We reacted out of this previous reaccumulation, right? Upon doing so, distro came back into, well, we tried to come back into demand, like into the 50. We redistro, broke the redistro, came back into the 50%. And then obviously, we've now broken the high. So I'm seeing more evidence of buyers in these markets than I'm seeing sellers in these markets. So yeah, I'll just wait and see if we're going to get the buyers from here, or we're going to come a bit deeper into demand. I don't know which one price is going to do. So I'll wait and see. And I'll act accordingly when the market shows me when buyers are really stepping in. So yeah, man, let me send this to you guys as well. Let me send this to you guys as well. Do, 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 do. There we go. So that's that. Send this there as well. All right, cool. What am I forgetting? Oh, gold and silver. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, man. So gold and silver. So gold, right? Good old gold. I'm actually in buyers on gold right now, currently taking some partials, but um, simple play really. So we had that accum, reaccum. Obviously when price broke this high, we obviously ended up, we tried to distribute in here. Tried distributing in here. Where's my pen? Tried to distribute in here. One came lower, had that shakeout. Price comes back in, comes back, and then lower time frame on the 15 second was it I was looking at? Hold on, I got a case study for that. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah. You sent it to me. Would there be entry points? Yeah. But I'm so with the green bits, I'm not just buying straight off them. I'm waiting for like lower time frame schematics. You wouldn't you obviously I know you haven't started working with myself yet, so you won't fully understand that just yet. But yeah, I'm usually waiting for price to show evidence of buyers in there, and that's where I'm looking to take my buyers basically. Um, but yeah, so obviously let me move that out of the way. So in here, yeah, I was a little bit strapped for time as well. So I did it a little bit the lazy way. So as we came into the 50%, right, I was looking at this as my, had your cube, had your little shakeout, as this little redistro in here. Price broke, and then I just entered off the 80% of this, I believe it was. Was it the 80 or the 50? I can't remember. I think it was the 50 actually. No, it wasn't the 80. Yeah, it was the 50. I had one off the 50 and the one off the 80, and the 50 obviously triggered. It hadn't stopped me out, if I'm not mistaken. Or did I have one entry? Let me double check. Let me double check. Let me double check. I think it was off the 50, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was up. Was it off the 50? Yeah, it was off the 50. Yes, I had an entry on the 50 basically. And obviously, here we are now. So obviously I'm reduced risk, took some partials, and yeah, I'm just waiting essentially. Target wise, I'll just go back to gold real quick. Target wise, I am looking at target wise, if I'm honest, I'm looking at the low of this redistro. This is the reload. I mean I will take some partials that I'll be out majoritively out up here. Reason why I'm not targeting the 50 is just because for me, like I will have some volume on at the 50 if we do come up, but I know that price doesn't need to come into the 50 before, reversing lower. Do you know what I mean? We see that happen pretty often with gold, where you won't get like this, like the price won't come into the 50. Do you know what I mean? So like here, for example, the price come into so like even this redistro up here. Notice how we break. Price doesn't quite come up to the 50, but it did come up to the low of it. Do you know what I mean? And the risk of war was like a 1 to 11 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Up to the low of this. So I was just happy to go off the low, if I'm being honest. Like to be out majoritively at the low of this reload. But I'll have some volume in case we can come a bit deeper into supply. But yeah, for me, that was just as simple as it was. So for me now, where we are currently, what am I looking at for gold now? I do want to see if price can come into the 50 of the reload, which is obviously up here. And I'll wait to see if we have evidence of sellers. I'm still a seller on this thing. Why? Because again, like when we look at recent, like how gold has been treated, gold has essentially been treated as gold unsold were treated as risk assets. So inflation is going higher, which means money should be flowing out of risky assets and flowing into safe assets. Hence why we're seeing gold make its way lower. So, and obviously we're still waiting for that same thing to take place on indices, but I think it's earnings that are holding these things up and keeping these things strong right now. So for me personally, like I'm still a seller on gold. I just don't see much of a reason to be buying on gold. If we just zoom out for a minute, can anyone see any reason as to why we should be looking for buys right now on gold? Like long-term buys I'm talking about, not like little short-term scalps. You know, we just had a redistro, we had another redistro in here. Actually, I don't know why this is still here. But we had this redistro in here. Uh, just make this like that. So we had that, and then obviously upon doing so, we've obviously had a new redistro in here. So I'm just waiting to see if price will come into the 50 of this or the reload. I don't really care which one it comes into. If I see evidence of sellers stepping in, then yeah, I'm gonna get involved. So in terms of drawing it out, let me just zoom in. I'll do it on the 15-minute, make life easier for myself. But yeah, I'll be waiting for price to either come into here or, for potentially price to make its way up here. And I think it's pretty damn simple if I'm being honest. Is that clear to everybody? Has anyone got any questions? Um, quick question. What model is entering off of reaccumulation? Off of reaccumulation. I would regard that as a model two, because model one is off the accum. Model, yeah, be off, yeah, model two basically, because that's when you're entering off of a reaccumulation. And model three is where we get the brush. Model three is like if we have like let's say you get like an accum, get a reaccumulation, let's say price breaks this, you get volume down here, we get the accumulation, and then we get the reaccumulation. That will be your model three, entering off this to send it up to these highs. I mean, I've clocked to have the information, but I forgot the name. Yeah, Mike, bro. Like even me, bro. Like, probably shouldn't say it, but yeah, sometimes I even forget, like, do you know what I mean, models and stuff like that. Not, I forget the numbers. Not like I feel like it's ingrained. It's like a part of my, it's part of my psyche now to remember like what they actually look like. But numbers and stuff, yeah, I forget names all the time, bro. So don't worry about that. But yeah, so yeah, gold. This time looking at it personally. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, I hope we do come up to the to the 50 of the reload. That would be great. I really closed out a nice little piece of change. Do you know what I mean? So let's see, man. Silver, essentially the same thing. Um, yeah, I'm just waiting to see if price can make its way up into here. So if we get, oh, that's the recording. I'll post them at the same time in a minute. Uh, so yeah, man. We go on the 15. So yeah, something either this, like this, or something like, oh, there we go. It's already on there. So that's my box. Something like this, or maybe something like this. Let me put my little zone up here as well. And then outside of that, ladies and gents, I think we can get into the Q&A. I know you guys have got some questions for me. Where's my zone? Oh, here we go. So let me just send this in a group real quick as well. I don't think I put gold in there, did I? I put gold in there. Oh, there we go. Tom, I just see your case study now as well. Let me just send you guys gold and we can get into the questions. I know you guys had some pretty good questions for me. iPhone, I haven't forgot your question as well, by the way. About why I started trading. So I'll go up in the chat and make sure I haven't forgotten that one. There we go. Cool. All right, sick. So let's questions. Forecast. Hold on. Looking at when volume's been generated. Oh yeah, so to see if when volume's been generated, there's this volume thing up here. Obviously, I've got it as a shortcut on mine. I think I've saved it on here. But all you do, bro, is just come on to this up here. It will say no, it's not this one. I'm bugging out. This one, sorry. Indicator. And then if you type in, okay, what should come up with a box in a minute. Let's trade if you just bugging out. All right. There we go. Cool. So if you just type in volume, it will come up with this one. So what I usually do is I'll star the ones that I want to appear on here. And then obviously once you've done that, it will just stay on here. So this is the volume. When you see the lines, it means that's where volume is obviously a lot more volumes coming. Yeah. And then when it's on here, you just click the eye, turn it off and turn it back on. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question, my brother. Cool. So I need a beginner's guide to trading for you. Oh, bro, yeah. Once we're locked in, my bro. What's it called? Yeah, bro. You ain't even gotta worry about that, man. I'll get you right. You get you right, man. All right, cool. So I know some of you guys have questions. We could go back up to the. I know you guys had some questions for me. Uh, uh. Okay, you know what? It's gonna be easier, bro. Just ask me just put the questions in here again. I think it'll just make more sense. But I know iPhone did ask me how long have I been trading. I've been trading for just over 8 years now. Um, yeah, but my thing is this, bro. Like, it's not even about how long I've been trading for. It's how long I've been doing the effective stuff for. Because a lot of people get that mixed up. They think, oh, he's been trading for ages. He must be good. Nah, bro. I can point you in the direction of some people who've been trading for longer than I have. That still aren't profitable, bro. Do you get it? So, but I've been profitable for like just over well, yeah, just over 4 years now. Coming up to 5 years pretty damn quickly, actually. But um, but yeah, my bro. So yeah, and why did I start learning how to trade? Um. I'll be honest, bro. Like when I was younger, right? Obviously, I was playing football at a pretty decent level, and then obviously like I got released, right? So from there, I started doing some illegitimate activities, if you will, because I was trying to keep up the same kind of bread that obviously I was getting at football, right? Um, and yeah, it didn't work too well. Almost got caught doing some questionable question mark stuff, and that was enough to put me off. So I started going back into work, and I realized I think everyone has this point in their work life where it's like, bro, is this all my life is destined for? Do you know what I mean? And I had that pretty early when I was working at that fucking restaurant when then I got fired for not smiling. And then I started working at Tesco when I had the same thing there as well. And I stopped liking people because the people in Tesco were just idiots, all drinking all the time, degenerates, basically. So I didn't want to talk to no one, but I still wanted to make money. I still wanted to be free. I still wanted to be able to travel when I want and not ask for fucking holiday and all this nonsense. Do you know what I mean? Um, so yeah, obviously from there I was like, okay, cool. I started looking at affiliate marketing, which I did actually start doing. I was, bro, my girl actually sent me what's it called? A like basically I started affiliate marketing and um I made like a health and fitness page. And then obviously I realized that there was a lot more. Here we go. Nate's Health and Fitness. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera. Uh, no, probably not. Let me turn the brightness up. But yeah, I started doing that, and that didn't work out too great. There we go. Nate's Health and Fitness. I don't know if you can see it now, but yeah, started doing that. Didn't work out the way I wanted to work out. Started doing trading, and I was like, you know what? Fuck everything else. I'm just going to do this. I tried to do Amazon FBA as well. Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like it was a lot more work than trading. So I was like, cool, trading it is. And then I said to myself, I'm going to keep doing it until I get it right. Got scammed by a flipping signal channel. Then I was in network marketing for that 3 and a bit years, maybe 4 years, something like that. Um, and then learned a bit there. And I just kept committing until something worked. And obviously, I was working with a guy called Pips of Persia. For those of you that know him, I started working with him a good friend of mine that also trades. And obviously I started working with Kieran as well. And yeah, bro, I kept committing. And obviously over some time I started, getting a bit better, started getting some more consistent profit. And yeah, just we just kept doing the same thing, really. Do you know what I mean? How long have I been profitable for? Yeah, literally 4 years now. Just over 4 years now. Just over 4 years. So that was again, if you do the maths on that, that was what, 4 years of just getting my ass beaten, bro. Do you know what I mean? So so yeah, bro. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. But obviously everything led to this point now, isn't it? So I can't really complain if I'm being real, you know? Do you find that based on your lifestyle, as you mentioned, you only trade the US session, and do you find it to be the most profitable or other factors too? I mean, when I first started becoming profitable, I was trading London session and New York. It's only now where it's like, well, not now, I'm saying it's only been like what, like a year and a bit where I've kind of like changed my approach because obviously I've been trading indices a lot heavier like this past 2 years. So obviously we know that the New York Stock Exchange is at 2 o'clock, no, 2:30 rather, UK time, like PM, right? So because I mainly trade indices, I can not really be in the markets like early morning and I can still do what I need to do. Like I'll still be going through like my trading stuff by like 11 o'clock, maybe 10. I'm usually in the gym pretty early, like 7, 8 a lot of the time, sometimes 9 if I'm being a lazy mother effer. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, bro. Yeah. So I wouldn't say they are the be all and end all of whether I was going to be profitable. It was more so just do you have a plan? Are you able to follow your plan consistently? And are you willing to get your stuff reviewed basically and see where you're going right, see where you're going wrong? You know what I mean? Um, that was the takeaway for me. How long have you been staying at the same strategy? Yeah, bro, trust me. Just because you be like people are often quick to, like pair up how long you've been trading to how low to like how profitable you are. And it's not true, bro. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Mm, yeah. Um, oh yes, Casper, I can. I can indeed. How can I forget? Right. So Casper. What have we got here? Casper. Okay, so this is this is your 2 5 second. Have you got anything higher time frame that I can look at so I can see your POI and where you were getting enough? If you can send that to me, that would be great, my bro. Um, so I know Tom, you sent me something as well, so let me get that downloaded whilst I'm looking at Casper's. Uh, okay, so that should be in here now. Nah, for real, yeah. Bro, I think you lot think I'm joking. I genuinely do. Miss these calls. These 2 Sundays I didn't do it. Bro, it was burning me, bro. I was like, yo, I need to get back with the guys, man. You know what I mean? Need to get back with the guys. Yeah, Casper, let me know when you've got that, my bro, yeah, and I'll check that out for you. In the meantime, let me go through this actually. So 4 hour NAS, high time frame is bullish. Okay. Distro. Mm. Okay. So you can see redistro if you're Think about the redistro. Right, up into the redistro near it. What time frame is this on there? It's on the 30 minute. It's a little bit cheeky though. It's a little bit cheeky though. Because I would rather just wait for the high to break, if I'm being honest. You know. What you've got, okay. Redistro in the POI, looking to buy up into a redistro or near it. So what, was you trying to buy up into here? Okay, let's see. The 30 minute. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, let's see. So Okay, so price. Okay. I'm gonna set the London low. You know, there's a fake move. See, okay. Uh, mm, okay. So this is in. Uh, yes, we're showing good signs of strength with not London or New York supply. Uh, okay, so with this here, yeah, with this here, did we? So, oh, snaz. Is that what you mean? Double check. Yes. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay. I'm so broken in here. Yeah, but okay, cool. So my thing is, so in here we didn't, so we haven't got any volume in here, and you're saying, guessing you're looking at it as an accum, and then it's confusing me. Uh, let's see what you mean. Obviously, you're looking at that. There's no volume in here, which is turning me off a little. Then we came in here. Yeah, bro. I'll be honest. I feel like I feel like it's a little bit forced, bro. I won't lie to you. I feel like it's a little bit forced. And the reason I'm saying that is because even like down here, bro, like, okay, cool. I know that sellers are in control. So like, you're buying against the selling pressure, which is naturally going to bring down your probability. Do you know what I'm saying, my bro? Um, so yeah, that's the first thing that my mind that immediately, that's why I was like, when I said it earlier, I was like, yeah, it's a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Because I'd rather wait for that, that, and then obviously, do you know what I mean? Like, confirm to me buyers are in control. Because imagine if price just continue coming lower. If you in your journal, you'd be like, yeah, I know. Because price doesn't need to come into the 50. You got to remember that as well. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would have been even looking in here, if I'm being real. And then on top of that, like, cool, so you probably lower time frame. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, because for me, I would have even then I would need to see, okay, even if you was looking at that as your accumulation, I need to see like that. Do you get what I'm saying? You know? And I think that's why what's it called? Yeah, even as a scout, like yeah, bro, I can't lie, man. I would rather wait for the, I'd rather wait for that to get broken. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather wait for that to get broken because it get like let's flip it for a minute, right? What would you have said if this if this lost? If this lost, bro, you would have been like, yeah, I should have just like, do you know what I mean? We're in demand and we're also like we're sellers are in control. At that point, bro, do you see what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, do you know what I mean? Kind of wait for a big, do you see what I'm saying? So it's like we're in demand and we're coming towards suppliers, like, and sellers are in control right now. I don't even want to be looking at any of this, bro. I'd rather just wait. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if you lost, it would like you'd have to say, yeah, bro, like I don't just didn't really meet the plan like that. Do you know what I mean? Why? Because you're is you buying in demand when sellers are still in control? Is that technically part of the plan? Do you get what I'm saying? And then if you take a loss off that, it's like, yeah, like do you know what I mean? I would have just been like, yeah, no, just wasn't even worth it. I would rather wait for the like for me, I'm always waiting for yeah, I'm mainly looking at ES strength and scalp nice. Like I get it, and it's not like you can't do it. It's just for me, it's like your probability is so much lower because there's like again, you've got one fighter, you got one fighter this way, one fighter this way. You don't know any of these fighters. You're just like, okay, cool, I don't know which one. Are you going to place a bet on that? Do you know what I mean? Probably not. Because if they both look relatively same, the same, weight class, you've never seen any of them fight. You're gonna be like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I'm not trying to bet on that. And you'd be like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit and enjoy the ride. Same way, bro. Like if I've got sellers coming in and I'm in a buyer's area, I'd rather just sit and enjoy the ride and wait for one of them to show me what's gonna do. Do you know what I mean? So that's my thing, my brother. You know. Um, but yeah, hope that helps, my brother. Uh, okay, hold on. All right, Casper, you said it. Oh, you said it on Telegram, yeah? Let me check it out. 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 Uh, here we go. Okay, so this is Nas. He's bullish on the weekly time frame. Okay, yeah. See a distribution shakeout followed by a breakout. Indicate reaccumulation of the line, the standard remains intact. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. An early time frame, we can see a similar thing, distribution followed by a shakeout and a breakout. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Vacuum here. Okay. So we came into the all right, so we came back into the 50% on the minute time frame we accumulated. And now we're back in that accumulation. So oh, I see where you were looking. I see where you're looking. You're looking at one, two, three. Yeah, okay, cool. Cool. Um mm, yeah, let me quickly go back real quick. So looking at okay, you was looking at here. Okay. Um so we have hold on a second, let me see. Booth. Okay, so this okay, yeah, technically. Mm, this now becomes a new point of interest in the accumulated jet, but yes, I've already see next picture. Okay. Send entry. Trace back into the exam that else. Missed one was tape. Okay. Okay. So at this point, had you oh you hadn't entered oh so you entered based off this. Okay. And the scanner called it in here as well. I think confirmed. So you entered off the was it off the 50 of that, yeah. Okay. All right, makes sense. So we form the second accumulation, not even something. Let me see another reaccumulation on the chart first. Yeah. It's also not volume. See in the session volume profile. Okay. Okay, eventually got sorted out. After use my risk, there's only a minimal loss. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like it doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. And there's a scanner play as well, so it's not yeah. Looking back the accumulation form later in the day. And just from that. Yeah. So sometimes when you get like manipulated out, it doesn't always suggest you've done something wrong. Like, bro, there's sometimes where I will take like, you get something like that, and then price does that and goes again. You might get stopped out here, go again. I don't know if Hannah's on the call. We was on a call on UK 100, exactly the same thing. I just entered off that instead. The next thing you know, you're good. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, Doesn't look like yeah, it doesn't look like bad. Doesn't look bad and doesn't suggest you've done something wrong either. It's just what's it called? Obviously, yeah, like the way I'm seeing it as I look at it like this was obviously minus Nasdaq for a minute. Obviously, yeah, you could argue, you've got some well, a bit better. You can argue that you've got some liquidity here as well. You know, you get your distro, shake out and break. So yeah, bro. Yeah, it looks all right to me. I won't say it's wrong. And it was a scanner play as well, so it's not. Do you know what I mean? I won't say it's wrong. Sometimes you're not always gonna your trades won't always go to full target. You're not always gonna win every trade. I'm sure, obviously you know this already, do you know what I mean? So yeah, bro. I won't say it's worse than the world. Um, it was the 25th, 26th. Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, because I up until this what image was it? Yeah, I was looking at something very, very similar. Um, I looked at something very similar. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it looks fine, bro. I wouldn't say there's anything necessarily wrong with that. I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with that personally. Um, yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you. No worries, my bro. I've got you. So yeah, man. But yeah, I hope that helps, my bro. Anyone else got any other questions? I know there was some other questions, but I just forgot them. So now, like, we basically finished the market outlook. So if anyone's got any questions, psychology, technicals, anything, let me know. This is you guys' time to shine now. Thanks for feedback. Yeah, got you. I have a chart I want to share. Yeah, no stress, my bro. Uh, it's a trade I mentioned on IG. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I got you. Yeah, send that over, my bro. My trading view plan has run out and I don't want to wait for another sell offers. Can I email trading view for a discount? I'm not actually too sure. I've never actually emailed them for a discount, I'll be so honest. Um, I remember someone, was it Ria, ages ago, said something about emailing them. And they ended up giving a discount. I think you can actually go to, oh no, your thing's run out, innit? Oski, bro, adios. Yeah, no stress, my brother. Take care of yourself, yeah. See you soon. And I'll send a recording here as well, so you definitely watch this back. But yeah, man. Yeah, nah, yeah, it's same. I've heard that you can as well. So yeah, yeah, maybe email them and say like, you know, just make some stuff up, bro. I would say, do you know what I mean? Yeah, wing it, and it might just you'll be surprised how much you can get when you wing it as well. Do you know what I mean? That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, Tom, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, if you can't go to cancel, they'll offer a discount, but his has already run out. I think that's where the issue lies. Um, get chat. Yeah, yeah, facts, bro. Chat GBT that up, man. Trust me. In fact, I've got a question for you guys. Any film recommendations? I got some sea bass and rice and some spinach after this, so I'm gonna eat and watch a film. So if anyone's got any good film recommendations, yeah, nah, not Toy Story 5, bro. I'll be honest, like I don't know, man. That's what I was about to say. Yeah, genre, um, genre. Charlotte. I know exactly what you're about to say, bro. You know what? Yeah, I'll be honest with the Toy Story thing. I'll be so real. Like after Toy Story 4, I kind of just fell off of it. I kind of fell off of it. Do you know what I mean? A series, The Legends. Okay, what's that about? What's my genre? What do I like? Recently, I've been liking. What have I been liking? I like. Do you know what I'm into right now? Like thrillers, but like not now thrillers though. Do you get it? I'm talking like between like 2010 and 2020 kind of time. I feel like the films nowadays, like a lot of the new films are just trash, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, no, for real, man. I won't lie to you. I feel like I'm a bit of an old soul personally. Like I like that's why I like my classic games and that. Like I go back to the Wii. I still got my PS3. Do you know what I mean? Like I like. Do you know what I mean? I was reading for 20 minutes. Oh, old boy. I thought you meant. I was at a film. I thought you was calling me an old boy. I mean, but both can run, man. Both can run. Old boy. What's that about? Oh, subtitles. Still got to watch John Wick. Yeah, I've seen all the John Wicks now. I just was old boy. Okay, yeah. We write that down. Old boy, yeah. Old boy film. What's that about? It's like 2013. Oh, 2003. Yeah. Oh, my man in it. He's in I swear he's in something else as well. He's in is it Kill Bill? Something like that. The Long Mile. I actually watched that recently. Oh, the long I watched that literally last week actually. Serious. I watched that in the cinema too. Um, two old boy movies, both. Oh, really? Yeah, I want to check it out then still. The Raid, Memories of Murder. Do you know what? Let me even don't want to do. I want to do the smart boy thing, and I'm gonna take a video, yeah, and I'm gonna scroll through all of these, and I'm gonna go back on them when I've got my food in hand. I don't know if it's just me, yeah. Does anyone else do this thing where, like, once I've got my food, yeah, once I've got my food, I will not start eating until I've got a film to watch. Do you get it? Like, I won't start eating until I put the film on, bro. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, bro. Bro, I'm exactly the same, bro. Share a Notion pet. Nah, I've got no idea. I don't even use Notion, I'll be honest. Yeah, I don't. Power Book 3. Yeah, yeah. When it comes out, I'm gonna what's it called? Or unless it's already come out and I missed it, then yeah, I'm gonna have to get into that still. Last Friday I went grocery shopping with my girl, which made me late for my pre-market routine. On my way there, we got into an argument and I was really frustrated because my schedule was messed up. Oh, bro, don't you just hate that? Don't you just hate that? Um, Then went to training UK 100. After that, I don't really know what happened, but my emotional community took over. Couldn't think clearly anymore, ignore my entire training plan. I ended up selling YM into demand because I was looking at the market through a lens of my emotions instead of following process. Yeah, stay away from like, bro. Stay away from the computer, bro. Stay away from the laptop. Like, bro, if you have an argument with your girl, or you're getting some road rage, or whatever, any something that puts you in a state of like takes you out of a state of equilibrium, bro, stay away from the markets. Yeah, like just don't do anything. Go away. Go on a walk. Go and do something. Go swimming, or go and do you know what I mean? Just do something, bro. Do you know what I mean? That's nothing to do with trading. Because what will happen is, again, like when you like if you find yourself being pissed off or like, do you know what I mean? That's gonna take over your body, and then your that same body that's been taken over is gonna go into the charts and do something mad, like how you just displayed in that last message. So what I'd say, bro, is if you have an argument, if you're not in the right state of mind, audit it audit it. Do you know what I mean? So okay, I'm not feeling that I'm feeling pissed off because of this, and that. Rah. Like do a proper like audit of yourself and then go away, bro. Go away. Do you know what I mean? You know? And the purpose of that audit, by the way, is not anything to do with trading, but it's to take a like a collection of what is happening to your body when you're pissed off. So if you're hinging your shoulders, if your breathing is tight, if you're all of these things, take note so that you can match that up to next time when you're about to go on the charts. If you see these same things coming up, then you know like you can start to like decipher when to stay away and when to be in the markets. Do you know what I mean? Bro, I've got a wife and a child, bro. So I know how it goes. Sometimes wifey's like just pissing me off or my daughter's being a little madam and it's do you see what I'm saying? Like it's I understand how it goes. So in those times, you need to stay away from the market, bro. Go and do something else. Go and do something else. That's my advice, bro. That's my only advice. Be in the market when you're in a mentally good headspace, and stay away from the markets when you're not. You do that, you'll take a lot less unnecessary losses due to, do you get what I'm saying? You know, due to that emotional trading. So I hope that helps, my bro. Uh, okay, cool. There ain't no chance on him, my bro. Unless I'm bugging out. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 4 hour high time frame, super high time frame. Okay, cool. Solid. Let's have a look. Gold. Okay, so industrial. Okay, recent those are still bullish on gold. On the daily time frame, however, based on the overall trend of bearish. Two things I want to see a break below line of sign or accumulation. Okay, cool. So you've got this up here and this. Okay. Um, yeah. Let me read this first. Groups the okay, so it's bearish. I want to see how a break below daily line of sign or pull back into the reload. I'd like to see a redistribution. Take short or down. One from keep minus over serious discount, so it's unlikely we go much lower about pullback, short without pullback as possible, but risky. 150 minutes scale since when a significant discount. I noted short without pullback is risky. Ended up seeing accumulation followed by reaccumulation midweek, which is often when reverses happen. That gave me the confidence to buy out to my POI. So accumulation, reaccumulation. Okay. Okay, cool. So right, Friday dropped down to the 5 minute chart. So another reaccumulation just before the blue box. Okay, this one here. So I wanted to pull back into the reaccumulation to buy it. Okay. So that's your so you're looking at that as your reload. I take it. I haven't got folders like that. I'm not sure I've done a replay since that's showing it today. Oh, okay. Low. Low. That's hilarious. Um, okay. Right. So you had that this is the reaccumulation before the blue box. That's the one you're looking at, right? If I'm not mistaken. Okay, cool. Let me read through this and I'm gonna check that link out then. So I don't confuse myself. Drop down to the 5 minute. I saw another reaccumulation. It's down here. Okay. Okay. Cool. So we didn't reach, we pulled back, but didn't reach the A. I don't take trades, let's say the A in second. All right, hold on. That came in. Okay, so you said you took it when it looks like this. Okay, so that. So what? I'm asked what you bought in. You bought in here. Is that what I'm getting? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I bought in here as well. This is what I bought. I'm trying to see exactly where your entry was because this looks a little. This, yeah, I don't even know where this is to be honest. I'm working out right now. Person is bougie. um, so you were looking at yeah, bro. Yeah, that was my new but yeah, I'm so confused right now because why doesn't this look the same as because where I'm looking at the chart you just sent me, yeah, this no not this. Where's the one you just sent me now? This okay, the same chart. All right, so this here, and then I'm looking at this. So where is this? Do you get what I'm saying? If you brought in here, I'm with that because obviously I brought in here as well, if I'm not mistaken. Unless I'm looking at the same. This is on Friday, right? If I'm not mistaken. 15 second on Friday. Oh, I see. Okay, 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 okay. So it was basically in the 15 second somewhere inside of here, basically. Okay, right, I see, I see, I see. It's earnings this week. There's not, yeah, there isn't that much earnings this week, really. Um, this is all we got this week. Nope, that's next week. This is all we got this week. Yeah, that's all we got this week. Okay, so yeah, I was basically trying to figure out where. Oh, I see what you mean. All right, cool. I get you now. All right, cool. So this is the start of the blue box. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. 'Cause I was so confused. I was like, where was your buyer? Yeah, so it was in here. I get you. I get you. Yeah, so I was in here. I was okay in a 15 second down here. Yeah. Oh, so you just went bang off the 80 like that. I thought you was waiting for a lower time frame schematic in here. Oh, I see. Yeah, because I got in off the 50, and you just got in off the 80 basically. Oh yeah, 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 looks good to me. It's the same trade I caught. So yeah, big up, big up. Yeah, we got there in the end, didn't it? Sure, I mean. But yeah, man. Any other questions, guys? Anything else? Dips. I know you asked me a question actually. Let me check it. So you got it as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the one I was showing you guys earlier. But I just took it off to 50. I had my little princess in my ear, and I was like, bro, you know what? Let me just go up to 50 and just. She wanted me to play with her. I was playing, what's it called? I was playing We Play. There's like a fishing game on there, which was really on to me. So yeah, I was like, yeah, let me get enough to 50 and get back to my game. And I came and price just flew off. I said, yo, that's the most a game of Wii I've ever played in my entire life. You know what I mean? But Dips, I know you had a question for me, bro. Sorry, let me go back to that right now. Is your day-to-day analysis built on the hourly timeframes or the minutes or combination? Yeah, it's a combination. Combination. That's what Drake says, right? But yeah, combination, my bro. How do you compare and contrast? So I will start off on a higher time frame first, then I'll work my way down to intraday, then I'll go down to low time frame. You know what I mean? To build your project. How do you do a compare and contrast to build your projection for yeah, so I'll do my fundamental analysis first, just like how we did in the beginning of the call, and then I'll go higher time frame, um, and then I'll go intraday, and then I'll go lower time frame. That's always the way I want to do it. Why? What's not? Oh, it's the um be more knowledge. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fact, bro. As soon as you started, bro, like everything will become clear from there. Do you know what I mean? Because I can't explain it like in a crazy amount of detail if you don't go through like the things before that. If that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, thanks, mate. I guess it'll just be more knowledge. Okay, yeah. One last question. Recommendation. Anyone seen The Society or something? Nah, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I'll be honest. Bro, I can't lie. Netflix has been pissing me off recently, but that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, man. All right then, guys. Cool. So I will send you guys both the recordings because they got split, right? But I'll send them both to you guys once they're both loaded up. Um, and then yeah, I hope you guys got some value from this call as well, of course. And then Tuesday, obviously we've got Kieran. Wednesday we've got me again, and then Thursday we've got Kieran again. I don't think I'll be on that call because I'm going to be moving. So yeah, I've got a moving van, all these guys coming through. So yeah, but all right then, guys. Remember to keep your heads on that bread as per usual. And yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And yeah, see you on Kieran's call Tuesday. Yeah, you guys take care. Bless.